It's my great honor to welcome you to Unity in Lynnwood, where we affirm the inherent dignity, value, potential, and right to be of every life as an emanation of that one life we choose to call God. To explore on-campus and virtual opportunities for those aged toddler through 18, please contact that program's director. Our radical welcome includes all. Please stay in touch through the social media platforms of your choice by visiting unityinlynnwood.org, by registering to receive electronic communications, or by downloading the Breeze app. Those who download the Breeze app will receive a free gift through the mail. And if you would like to pray in strict confidence with one of UIL's trained prayer chaplains, whether for support or celebration or regular maintenance, start the process by contacting that program's director. We believe in the capacity of an elevated consciousness to give rise to an elevated experience. And UIL's Prayer Ministries is eager to support you in doing just that, whether virtually, in person, or by telephone. Finally, we believe giving in its highest form is a spiritual practice, and we're grateful to be among the beneficiaries of your spiritual practice. May your generosities of hand and heart return to you in untold ways as they reach into our greater world to bless. So again, welcome. Everything Unity in Lynnwood has is available to you. We're honored by our shared journey.
Stumbling through our humanity, we're just walking each other home. We're just walking each other home.
Good morning, and welcome to Unity in Lynnwood. My name is Nina Clark, and I am the Associate Minister here at Unity in Lynnwood. And for those of us here, for those of you in social media land, we are experiencing summer here. Even though the calendar says we're not in summer yet, we are experiencing 70-degree weather here, 70-plus degree weather here. And this is what we wait for all year long here. So it is gorgeous. Who would you be without the thought, I am less than? Who would you be without the thought, I am not lovable? Who would you be without the thought, I must be better than? I have to be right. I can only have this much. I invite you to close your eyes with me and notice the chair or cushion beneath you, supporting you being right where you are. And notice the floor beneath the chair or cushion you're sitting on, and the ground beneath the floor of the building you're in, all working together in support of you being right where you are, sitting in this now moment. Notice that your heart is beating without you having to consciously do anything. Notice that without your conscious awareness, there is a myriad of processes taking place in your body, all in support of you sitting right where you are in this now moment. Cells are respirating and creating and discharging energy. Neurons are sending messages back and forth faster than the blink of an eye. Marvel in the miracle of your body and all that is happening in it, just so that you can sit here, wherever you are, in this now moment. I invite you to turn your attention to your breath and just notice that you are being breathed. Each breath is in support of you, sitting right where you are, right now. Notice that you are warm and fed and clothed, all in support of you sitting right where you are, right now, in this moment. And now, I invite you to turn your attention to God. Allow your thoughts to entertain God as life. Allow your thoughts to entertain that trees and birds and flowers and animals are all God. God expressing itself as life. Allow yourself to ponder God as wisdom, as intelligence. Allow yourself to perceive the exquisite order of the universe, the planets and galaxies spinning in perfect harmony and balance. Allow yourself to be in jaw-dropping awe at the intricate interdependence of our planet. How perfectly everything supports everything else. Water, wind, sun and rain, oxygen and plants, animals and microorganisms, all in a beautiful homeostatic balance. Allow yourself to wonder at God as the source of all that is, that God is the sunset, the sunrise, the wind in the sail, the lap of water against a dock, leaves blowing in the wind, the sunshine, the rain, the fragrance of a flower, a pond. So who would you be without the thoughts? I am less than. I am not lovable. I must be better than. I have to be right. I can only have this much. You would have the deep and profound knowing that you are whole and perfect and complete, that you have nothing to prove, that you can trust the wisdom that has individuated as you, that you are a unique and astonishingly incandescent expression of this one life. You would be free to express your full creativity. You would be free to be fearlessly, unabashedly you. And so it is.
There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he wandered very far, over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he passed my way. And while we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing you'll sweetest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return.
Well, we are off and running with our spring celebration, which began last Sunday and will end on Friday, May 21st, with a garden party tentatively scheduled for 6 p.m. This 40-day program is a time to dedicate our best efforts, talents, and resources. You are invited to participate in projects to beautify our campus, such as refreshing the gazebo gardens, interior and exterior painting, restoring our nature preserve, and cleaning the front grounds. Contribute to our fundraiser of $30,000 for parking lot repairs and refinishing. Each parking space is valued at $375, and there are 30 spaces to fill. And as donations arrive, you will see an image where the parking lot will turn green as we have enough money to do those particular number of spaces. And while this might seem like odd timing, in the middle of a pandemic, our parking lot is not only being used for our small service audiences, but also for We Care Academy, weddings, memorials, other rentals, all of which are necessary streams of income for Unity in Lynnwood, perhaps more than ever before. The parking lot is one of 2 remaining physical plant needs, the other of which will not require address for 10 years. And finally, you are invited to hold our community in prayer and to participate in our blessing ceremony. Many are in prayer even now. Register now or anytime to reconnect, refresh, renew, revitalize, restore, re-energize, and recommit to our beautiful Unity in Lynnwood campus. Thank you.
Reverend Nina Clark. What an honor it is to be joined in our physical sanctuary by a number of noble souls. Yet again, it is my distinct honor and privilege to bask in the nobility of you. The same applies to our online audience. What a pleasure, what an honor, what a joy it is to welcome you to Unity in Lynnwood, an evolving, unfolding idea of oneness and possibility. Welcoming community, practical spirituality, that mission statement, so short on word, but wouldn't you agree, so broad in idea, so brimming with implication, so rich with content. Practical spirituality, you mean this teaching carries the potential to enrich my human incarnation? Well, yes. Welcoming community, well, does that mean me? What about my past? What about this story? What about that failure? Yes, the answer, it means you. And so it is that every week I like to support this admittedly short mission statement with one of the 6 values statements that we developed in conversation with your board of trustees beginning in late 2014. Today I share the second of 6. Take a deep breath with me. Does this belong to you? Are you willing to have this belong to you? It reads as follows: we seek to discover and share spiritual practices which are repeatable and relatable, and to infuse these spiritual practices into every area of daily living. Whew. You may nod politely yes, if you so choose. Special thanks to the 4040 cleanup crew who worked so diligently yesterday in the wedding and event gazebo area. If you would like to give them applause in the house, you're welcome to do so. If you'd like to show them a little love on social media, you are welcome to do so. Oh, of the leading voices in New Thought teachings, do avail yourself to the immense wisdom that is the Reverend Lola Wright. She will be with us as one of our 40 guests on Sunday, May 2nd prayer. If you would like to pray with someone and you are in our virtual sanctuary today, start the process by writing prayer@unityinlynnwood.org. If you are in our physical sanctuary today, simply remain seated following this service. Marge will come get you. As always, there's a social hour event that follows every Sunday service. If you have that link, you may use it. Otherwise, visit the calendar page at unityinlynnwood.org, register, and the link will be sent. Words of invocation. Yet again, maybe another deep breath becomes appropriate at this juncture in our conversation. You're welcome to allow my voice to serve as yours. You are welcome to read along, if you so choose. Though imaged and named variously, there is a singular and eternal ground of being from which all life emanates and into which all life retreats. We choose to call this ground of being God. By extension, we come to understand that we are spiritual in nature, human in expression, and limitless in potential. We gather today to remember such truths, to celebrate our unity, and to honor all life. And so it is. Today, it's one of my responsibilities to announce the passing beyond our sight of two truly noble souls. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, or if you've only been with us for a short time, we as community welcome your presence as we fashion what will be. At the same time, we as a community request your understanding as we acknowledge what has been, for both what will be and what has been are sacred chapters in the ever-unfolding story of any community. Longtime Unity in Lynnwood member, teacher, facilitator, contributor, Tawny Wolf. You, I believe, see some of her art now. Tawny shared with me her hope that those who knew her would find themselves saying, each in their unique way, she made a difference. She made a difference. And I can affirm and confirm for the soul that I believe can still hear me that indeed her wish has been fulfilled. Tawny Wolf made a difference. And my predecessor and my friend of many decades, an icon in ministry, and a beloved sister of Unity in Lynnwood, Reverend Mary Omwake. Now, Reverend Mary's early vision, I don't know if you're ready for this. Reverend Mary's early vision was the complete transformation of humankind to Christhood. Quite a vision, right? the transformation of humankind to a Christhood. And in the wake of more shootings and continued racial reckonings, global tensions, rampant fears, I think it's safe to say that her vision hasn't yet been realized, landing her in the most excellent company of such souls as Jesus and MLK, Saint Teresa, and beyond. Her vision hasn't yet been realized, but I find myself heartened by the deep and personal belief that her work moved the needle, that her life took us closer than we were before. And I wonder if each of us in this room, each of us within the sound of my voice, might find value in such an example. However it is that you might feel compelled to give rise to a higher way of being, may your work move the needle. May your life take us closer than we were before. In the end, I think that's the charge left us by all great souls. And in a sense, to assume that charge is to allow the legacies of those great souls to live on through each one of us. May your work move the needle. May your life take us closer than we were before. Now, Unity in Lynnwood's prayer ministries is available in full support of you. Write, ring, call silent unity. Authentic community walks through every season together, even those that are difficult. I'd like you to note that an epic celebration of life for the Reverend Mary Omwake is being fashioned for Saturday, May 15th, 3:00 p.m. Pacific. Do stand by for details. In closing, I would have you know that all of the music this morning represents something that she deeply, deeply loved.
That I'm here to help create one peaceful world. I realize that I am here to help create one peaceful world. There is a voice within our hearts asking each of us to see, and you and I must make a choice to bring the earth to harmony, to help each other to be free. I realize that that I am here to help create a peaceful world. I realize that I am here to help create one peaceful world. One peaceful world. When we decide it's time for peace, only love shall we extend. The courage lives in everyone to bring the garden back again. And life will guide us like a friend. We only harvest what we sow. And every seed of love will grow. I realize that I am here to help create one peaceful world. I realize that I am here to help create one peaceful world.
Mary Omwick taught me that song. It was probably 1988. Whew. It's been a long time. So let's review. It goes something like this. We as individuals live in the collective dream of a family, of a community, of a nation. We as individuals live in the collective dream of humanity itself. And every time a new soul enters this experience of earthly life, its people rush in to hook its attention and to indoctrinate him or her in the ways of this collective dream. Every time a new soul enters this experience of earthly life, moms and dads, siblings and friends, teachers and ministers, and dear God, the media and social media rush in to hook its attention and to indoctrinate him or her in the ways of this collective dream. And because that child quite simply doesn't know any better, the child agrees with the ways of the outer dream, for better or for worse. And in so doing, the outer dream, for better or for worse, becomes an inner dream, or what the author calls a personal book of law. And this process, a process driven by rewards and punishments, by which that outer dream, for better or worse, becomes a personal book of law, is called the domestication of humans. And it's through such a process that this outer dream, for better or worse, gets passed from generation to generation to generation. Now, I say for better or for worse because, as I quoted last week, entire lives have been constructed on books of law, which are largely false. Entire lives have been constructed from the accepted fiction of generations of fearful humans. And so it is that when a human stumbles upon such a lie, when an untruth found in one's book of law conflicts with the wisdom found in one's heart, one arrives at an important choice. Will he abandon the lie, or will she retreat to the safety of the lie, no matter how false, no matter how limiting, no matter how mediocre, no matter how destructive it might be? And the author answers, if you want to live a life of joy and fulfillment, you have to find the courage to break those agreements. So it is that Don Miguel Ruiz sets forth 4 such agreements designed to do just that, to wave away what he calls the metote, the hell of those false agreements, that we might reveal a new dream, which he calls heaven. How are we doing so far? Now, last week we explored the first, what he would call the most difficult and the most important of the 4 agreements. And I quote, be impeccable with your word. How did you do last week? Don't show me hands. I don't think I want to know. And I suggested that to be impeccable with your word, or to be without sin in your speech, is not only to turn from words which cast dark spells through gossip, through negativity, through condemnation, but also to turn toward words which allow your truth to fly forth. And that's our review. Right there. Now, in approaching week 2, let me tell you what a Sunday is like for me. I hear Richard, dear, sweet Richard. Just one more thing before I go. More Bible teaching, please. And I hear Richard, oh, dear, sweet Richard, just one more thing before I go. Less Bible teaching, please. I hear Richard, dear handsome Richard. You know, a minister really shouldn't drive a red car. It's just too up. Followed by Richard, dear handsome Richard. You know, a minister really shouldn't drive a silver car. It's just too down. I hear Richard, those shoes. Followed by Richard, that hair. Followed by Richard. I mean, you fill in the blank. And this is made wildly more complicated by the fact that people hear things I didn't say. Now, any minister listening to this stream today will be able to affirm this weird dynamic in the chat window. People hear things I don't say. You see, we don't so much perceive the world the way it is as we perceive the world the way we are. And I might say that so strong is this quirk that, yes, you can even hear something that wasn't said. Ouch. And that, my friends, is your interpersonal relationship counsel for today. You are welcome. To my point, it's clear to me that in any given week, I am surrounded by those who believe me to be destined for an eternity of pearly gates and soaring violins. and others who believe me to be destined for an eternity of fabric stores and bad sopranos. I suppose it's reasonable to conclude that in any given week I'm surrounded by those who like me, and I'm surrounded by those who don't like me. And so it is that I find relief in the charge of this second agreement, and I quote, "Don't take anything personally." I find relief in the charge of this second agreement because I live in an outer world brimming with disparate opinions about me, about what I teach, about what I drive, about what I wear. I find relief in the charge of this second agreement because I live in an outer world brimming with disparate opinions about who I am. And I suspect you can relate. And if you can't, just open that road rage super highway that we call Facebook for a healthy dose of disparate opinions about you. Now, according to the author, here is the problem. According to the author, as part of the domestication of humans, which is an experience common to all of us, you developed the arrogant assumption that everything is about you. And according to the author, here's the problem, or here's the solution. It's not. Everything's not about you. Merry Christmas. Happy birthday. You're welcome. In fact, this agreement goes on to suggest that nothing other people do is really about you, so much as it's about them. Their opinions aren't so much about you as they are reflections of their own inner dreams, reflections of their own books of law. Other people live in worlds completely apart from the world you know. Now, to quote the author again, when we take something personally, we make the assumption that they know what is in our world. Even when a situation seems so personal, even if others insult you directly, it has nothing to do with you. What they say, what they do, and the opinions they give are according to the agreements they have made. Their point of view comes from all the programming they received during their domestication. And he continues. See if this speaks to you. When you take things personally, he says, you feel offended, and your reaction is to defend your beliefs and to create conflicts. You make something big because you have the need to be right and to make everybody else wrong. So you try to be right by giving them your opinions. But in the same way, whatever you feel and do is a projection of your personal dream, a reflection of the agreements which you have made. What you say, what you do, the opinions you have are according to the agreements in your book of law. And so it is that I find relief in the charge of this second agreement. Because if I allow that outer world so brimming with disparate opinions to be the standard by which I determine my success or my failure, to be the standard by which I experience peace or angst, to be the standard by which I assign my value, I can never know success, I can never know peace, and I can never know my value. I could say that if I take it personally, I will spend everything desperately trying to be all things to all people, and in so doing, I will become very little to very few. So while it's tempting to interpret this agreement as one that would have us deflect all negative opinions and to saturate our egos with every positive thing the world utters, I would suggest this agreement to be broader than that. I would suggest that this agreement isn't so much about avoiding negative opinions and saturating our egos as it is about assigning our authority wisely. It's to assign our authority not to that outer world, but toward Jung's wise elder within, and all manner of choosing, seeking, living. It's a charge found on the pages of virtually every faith tradition. In the Judeo-Christian tradition, it was the psalmist who said it this way: it's the Lord that is my shepherd. It's something beyond that outer world that we can trust to lead us into green pastures, to lead us beside still waters. This is why Reverend Nina Clark and I have had so many conversations about the importance of answering to a higher standard than this world of human opinion. We've discussed the importance of answering to something beyond those voices that would reduce us and those voices that would elevate us alike. Because you understand, both are simply opposite sides of the same coin. That same coin of outer opinion that would, in either case, purchase the integrity of one's very soul. So he says, don't take anything personally. Don't take anything personally. And he concludes, and I quote, if you keep this agreement, this is his promise to you, if you keep this agreement, you can be in the middle of hell and still experience inner peace and happiness. Don't take anything personally. Don't assign your authority to that fickle outer world. Rather, let us assign our authority to that Lord of each of us, trusting it to be ample to the human journey. And there's your affirmation for today. In the world's criticism, the Lord is my shepherd. In the world's applause, the Lord is my shepherd. From the hilltops of any earthly experience to that infamous valley of the shadow of death, the Lord is my shepherd. Would you like to say it with me? The Lord is my shepherd. Let's be with that for a couple minutes. Let's simply reflect upon that. Let's hold it. Let's hold it in the spaciousness of self. The Lord is my shepherd. Whatever might cross your mind's eye from that outer world, we remind ourselves, the Lord is my shepherd. Wherever we might project ourselves into a remembered past or an imagined tomorrow, the Lord is my shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd. Let's breathe into that. Don't take anything personally. I do not assign my value to that fickle outer world, but I anchor it in the bedrock of that which is living itself as me. I anchor it in the bedrock of that which is thinking itself as me. In so doing, the very soul of me is emancipated to unfold its highest. And in this I give thanks. In this I give thanks. In this I give thanks. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is.
Thank you, Dr. Richard. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So this part of the service that we refer to as offertory is really a time of intentional practice. So let us today, right now, do just that. Let us know together in this moment that there is but one life, one power, one presence, back of all that we see. And knowing this, let us affirm that we cannot be separate from this oneness, from this isness, and therefore all that is true of it is true of us. As a drop to the ocean, we are one with it. And knowing this, let us become a clearer vehicle for all that God is, trusting that the ground of all being knows exactly what it is doing. And so let us pray in the manner suited to each one of you and lift ourselves into the highest state of consciousness that we can muster in this moment with glad and grateful hearts. And in doing so, we live our unity tenets into being. And from this state of consciousness, let us join our hearts and minds together and go ahead and hold your offering wherever you are, whether it be paper, some sort of tangible symbol, or just an intention. Hold it in your cupped hands, knowing that both are simply symbols of abundance. And know with me, know with your community that through the sharing of your abundance of love, of wisdom, of life, of plenty itself, you are, and thus we are, a blessing to this world. And so it is.
So before we sing our offering song, I wanted to acknowledge that grief has its own timing. So thank you for allowing me to have that human moment. So thank you. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
I don't think Matthew Wilson ever needs to apologize for his open, beautiful heart. Does anybody? I mean, right? Oh, my heavens. My heavens. To register for any and all Unity in Lynnwood events, visit the calendar page of the website or click on the link provided in your social media chat window. That's more difficult for those of you in the room to do. I will leave that to you to navigate. Interlude is our standing Wednesday evening service, 7 o'clock p.m. with Reverend Nina Clark. A short lesson followed by meditation, an opportunity to breathe, and to remember the truth of who you are. Standing small group ministries offerings, still held virtually for now, include UIL Connects. It's an unstructured time of just chatting and connecting. That's on second and fourth Thursdays. The students of Myrtle Fillmore was the co-founder of the Unity movement. Students of Myrtle on the last Tuesdays of each month, 7 o'clock p.m., facilitated by Karen Breen James, one of our licensed Unity teachers, and the Search for God study group, exploring the teachings of Edgar Casey, Mondays, 7 o'clock p.m. If you have questions about any or all of the above, write small groups at unityinlynnwood.org. Take a deep breath with me. If you've been here for a while, you know I have been known to say that we are always praying. We're always praying. And if you haven't been here long, we're always praying. Consider the implications of such a bold statement. We are always praying. Then what becomes that act that we call prayer? Well, it's a moment of elevation. It's a moment of intentional remembering. It's a moment in which we increase the quality of those prayers that are already underway. So when we perform that act that we call prayer, the goal isn't to perform it and to leave it. The goal is to perform it and then to remember it into our daily lives. So we take that deep breath together and we embark upon a time of elevating. We embark upon a time of remembering. The Lord is my shepherd. I remember that which is living itself as me. The Lord is my shepherd. I remember that which is sustaining me. The Lord is my shepherd. I remember that which is supporting me. The Lord is my shepherd. I remember that harmony back of all expressed life, ever beckoning for its own realization in this world of form. The Lord is my shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd. I remember that wisdom that is ample to any sense of confusion, ever giving of itself. God doesn't provide an answer because God gets ready. God provides an answer when we get ready. The Lord is my shepherd. I turn from that outer world of disparate opinion and fickle rambling to that Lord within each one of us. And I give thanks that indeed, I know it will take me to the still waters. And I know it will lead me to the greener pastures of my soul's potential. And always we close this prayer and we close this holy time of communion among noble souls, as we always do, with sung words of blessing, with sung words of farewell.
May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure